Hey everybody, happy Friday. There's just a little bit of a delay, so I was waiting till I saw myself come on the computer that I'm kind of watching, and here I am now. So as you can see, I'm at the campground, and hello Sheila, and Reba's here too. I'm at the campground, and there's a family next to me, so I might get a little, the kids are fun. And anyway, I've got I think a pretty quick and easy project for you tonight, which is usually the order of the night when I'm at the camp. I don't need to bring a lot of stuff with me, so I planned on using something where I didn't need to bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine tonight, even though I use it on most of my projects. So I'll be using the Terrific Toadstools. Oh, I think I called it in the in the description of the video, I think I called it Totally Toadstools, and that is the name of the paper that we had during celebration that coordinated with this. But nope, this is Terrific Toadstools, and it's part of a bundle. It comes with, and I'll show you, comes with a punch. So there's how I get away from, hi Ruth, that's how I get away from using my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm going to turn you down and we're going to get stamping. All right, let me just put this in the holder here. There we go. We're doing pretty good, I think. I know there's a little bit of shadows and stuff, but I think we'll be able to make it just fine. So I'm going to be working on Very Vanilla tonight. And one thing I love about fall is just the warmer tones. And so that just kind of begs Very Vanilla to me. We still have it in regular cardstock. We don't carry Very Vanilla in the base, which is a little bit of a bummer for me. My card base is going to be Crumb Cake. And then I'm going to have a layer that is Early Espresso. And this layer measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And so this will go on and will show just a little bit of a border of Early Espresso. So that'll look pretty good, I think. But it's a pretty simple card. Let's go ahead and start stamping. So the first thing I'm going to do is in my Terrific Toadstools, I'm going to bring this mound in here, this grassy mound. You should be proud of me. I brought lots of blocks tonight. That doesn't, I mean, I keep a spare block here because I'm afraid of forgetting them, but I brought a bunch. I did forget my phone holder tonight, but I had to go home and my son was with us earlier, and he then likes to go home. He doesn't like to spend the night camping up here, so we just kind of do our thing up here for a little bit, and then we take him home. I didn't bring a mat or anything to stamp on, so that could be a little dicey, but I think it'll be fine. So there's our little grassy ground. And I used Old Olive because that's, so in the spring I would typically use Granny Apple Green, maybe Lemon Lime Twist, but I think that Old Olive is a really nice late summer, early fall kind of green. And so now what we're going to do is I need to work on my toadstools. Now I did a little bit of investigation, a little Google search. I asked Siri, what's the difference between a toadstool and a mushroom? Does anybody know? If you know, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm not going to tell you right away. But I will get out this large cap here. And I'm going to use this smaller one. I'm going to use a bunch of stamps tonight. And I'm going to use the smallest of the single caps as well. So far, I don't see any guesses on the difference between a toadstool and a mushroom. And don't be Googling it yourselves. You have to just tell me if you know or not. I mean, I know I did, but I will tell you. All right, I'm also going to bring in a sponge dauber that's got some, well, it's my Early Espresso one. Now, when I'm using my punch, I use it upside down so I can see where I'm punching. And this is one of those no edge punches. So when I'm punching out these shapes, you'll see some leftover ink on the paper because it's designed not to leave a white edge. Toadstools aren't edible. In fact, that is correct, Ruth. They are poisonous. So ding, 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 you win. All right, so I'm going to ink this in pumpkin pie, and my pumpkin pie is so juicy. Wow, that's a really juicy stamp pad. And then I'm going to take my sponge dauber, and I just re-inked my early espresso too because it was so dry. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dauber, and just on the edge of it, I'm going to put some ink in where the gills of that mushroom are. Just take a little bit of time, do that, and then I'm going to stamp it. Now, I meant to say that when I'm using this, they're upside down, so I just want to make sure that I am close enough to the edge so that I can cut those out appropriately with my punch. And so see, there you have a multicolored toadstool now. We're going to do the same thing with this one. This one's got the gills are a little bit closer together. It's a smaller area. I'm really just trying to use the edge. And we'll do this one too. There we go. And then this one doesn't have any gills. I'm going to go on another piece right here. All right, so we are done with our pumpkin pie. And yes, Sheila, mushrooms are edible. I like mine on pizza. And so you can see that you don't see any white around those edges at all. It helps, it means there's a little bit of forgiveness when you're punching. But see how, let me put this up against here. See how there's color around the edge? I did a pretty good job of centering that, if I do say so myself. And now I'm going to do the other one here. Same thing. All right, so then we have that mushroom cap. And then this one, unfortunately, we're going to have to fussy cut because there is no punch for that. But everything's nice and smooth, so it's actually pretty easy to cut around. Everybody have a good week. The weather has been beautiful here again. Rained last weekend, but this weekend is supposed to be really beautiful. Sunday is going to be about 75 here, which is perfect camping weather. Love it. All right, I'm going to clean those stamps so that I can free up the block. This is my portable little chamois. Isn't it cute? So tiny. All right. Put them back where they go. I didn't clean the large one yet, but that's all right. I'm going to take this large stem, and I'm going to take the small stem. I will need this really small stem too, but that's for a little bit later. So when I'm going to bring in my crumb cake here, and I noticed that this is pretty. Let me start with a lighter one. My crumb cake is also pretty juicy, so I get a nice dark color. I could get a very, very light color if I didn't re-ink it. Not sure which one I like better. I think I like the lighter one better, but it's almost a little bit too light, if you know what I mean. But I think I've got a plan for that. All right, let's see. Let me just clean the edge off that because I rocked it a little bit. I'm gonna ink this one, and I'm going to stamp off. Huff. Maybe that'll make it a little bit stronger. No, it didn't. It did not. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to stay full strength. And I'm going to bring in my dauber, and the part that curves inside, I'm just going to apply a little bit of that early espresso ink. And see how that just gives it a little bit more dimension? We can cut that one out. Oh, you know what? This one we can actually punch out. So, you know, if we can, we might as well, right? It goes way down here. Get this out of the way. It probably would have been faster just to cut this one out. All right, there's that stem. I do have to cut out the other stems though. So we'll do the same process. I'm going to ink this one up, except for on this one, not only am I going to add a little bit of early espresso to the inside curve, I'm going to add it to these gill type things on the inside. All right. I'm going to just huff on it. There we go. So we've got a couple different shades going on there. It's a little bit darker in here, a little bit darker on this inside. And we'll have to cut that one out. Let me just change this very quickly and get our other mushroom stem. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this one in early espresso. We'll make it darker. All right, so just a teeny tiny little stem there. And our stems are all done. So now we'll just cut these guys out. Anybody got any fun plans for the weekend? I'm hoping to play more board games and card games with my husband. I think I've told you before that we've been doing for like 4 years now. We have been competing, and anytime we play a game against each other, the loser has to give the winner a quarter, and we've been filling our mason jars, and mine is almost full. So I'm hoping, oh, I can even show it to you. I mean, it does take about a bunch of muscles to get it out, because let me tell you, those quarters weigh a lot. Because it's not a little jar, it's a pretty good sized jar. Probably has close to I don't know, $130, $140 worth of quarters. That's a lot. It's a lot of games over the past 4 years. We started this not long after COVID, or during COVID, I guess, because, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to do. So we love to play games. So we just decided, hey, let's make this a little more interesting. So the winner gets to keep both jars. I'll show you my jar. Oh, it's heavy. So this is the top of it. That's old designer series paper. But you can see there's not a whole lot of room in there. In fact, it used to make this nice satisfying clink when I dropped the quarters in the jar. Now it doesn't make any sound at all. So I'll show you Peter's jar too. Not nearly as full. He has been catching up though. He's been getting pretty good at some of the games. All right, let's bring this back in and see what we can do here. All right, what we're going to do is this largest mushroom or toadstool is going to get the largest of the stems. And I'm just going to adhere that first. So there's not a ton of room that I need to adhere it to. Ooh, that's a lot of glue, Sharon. A lot of glue. Didn't mean, must be a little bubble in there. Didn't mean for that to happen. I'm going to take that little excess off. All right, so we've got that one. Let me just turn it a little bit. There we go. And then we want to put this next sized one. That's going to go in this little guy. And we'll put that right there. Oop. Okay. And then this guy I'm going to put directly on the card instead. So if I organize this, I'm going to have something that looks like this. Let's see, let's put this one over here maybe. And then this guy with this stem will come down here. And we'll do something that looks like this, I guess. And you can use some dimensionals or not. I'll probably use dimensionals on the big guy. How about that? So let's put some glue here on this guy. Put him right there. Okay. And then we'll put some down here for this little one. These colors are just so warm and autumnal. Like we're using the word autumnal. Ruth says the house is being painted next week, so she's moving furniture on the lanai, or onto the lanai from the house. And the weather's much nicer. That's good. Not quite as hot there anymore, is it? All right, and now let's go ahead and put in our sentiment here. I'm gonna need my block clean. Let's stamp, or clean my stamp. Put that away, and let's see, popping up to say hi is what I'm gonna use, I think. You could turn this into a birthday card pretty easily just by putting a birthday sentiment inside. All right, what do you think? Should we put it in early espresso or pumpkin? I'm thinking early espresso because it just breaks it up so it's not all orange at the top. So let's do popping up to say hi. There we go. The kids are having fun next door. Can you hear? A little whining going on. This is when I'm glad that my kids are no longer little. Somebody else's problem. Can you hear me whispering? I don't want to speak too loudly because, you know, the neighbor's next door. All right, let's see. And